poet is Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So she belonged to the 17th century writers. She belonged to the Victorian era. Whom is she addressing in this poem? In the whole poem, she is addressing her husband, that is Robert Browning. Robert Browning was also a writer. At that time, women were meant to do only household works and they were not allowed to write. In that period, she started writing, and as a feminist, she has written this poem. Hello everyone, this is Shobita S. Aradhya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. A warm welcome and greetings to you. You are starting the first poem of second sem. Yes, this is the first chapter I am doing of second sem B.C.A. And what is that poem? It is How Do I Love Thee? And this poem is written by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. She has listed out all the reasons to love her beloved, that is her husband. So let us go in detail about the poem, that is How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Okay. First we'll see about the poet, then we'll know why the title is given like that, and we'll learn the theme of the poem, and then we'll go for detailed understanding of line by line of the poem, and we'll discuss question and answers. Finally, we'll conclude the poem. Okay. Let us start with the poet now. As I already said, poet is Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So, she belonged to the 17th century writers. She belonged to the Victorian era. So, Queen Victoria, she supported and encouraged many writers. Literature had reached its peak during this period. So, this style of writing is known as Victorian era, and this what you have for your syllabus is a sonnet by Elizabeth. So, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, she was an English poet of Victorian era, that is 17th century. She belonged to 17th century writers. She was born on 6th March 1806 in the UK. So, she was born in United Kingdom on 6th March of 1806. She was popular in Britain and United States during her lifetime. She had many readers both in United States and Britain. So, this shows that she was popular during her lifetime in two different countries, that is Britain and United States. Then she started writing at the age of 11. Very early she started writing, that is at the age of 11 she started writing poems. She was a feminist. What is a feminist? The people who stand for women are called as feminists. So, she was a feminist. She started writing when women usually did not write. Women were considered to be looking after the household chores. At that time she started writing. Even in European countries, women were supposed to look after the house chores and stay at home. They were not allowed to come out or be equal to the men. And at that time, writing poems or writing anything was not at all allowed to the women. In that era, she started writing. So only it is mentioned that she was a feminist. Then she died on 29th June 1861. She died at very early age on 29th June 1861. And this poem, How Do I Love Thee, is about her reasons. She is searching reasons to love her husband. She loves him to the moon and back. To that level she loves. So, she wants to continue loving even after her death. She mentions that in the poem that even after death, I'll be loving you, and that will be more than what I love when I am alive. Okay. So, that is how she loves her husband. If we come to the title of the poem, why the poem has got this title? This title we can see in the first line itself. How do I love thee? Okay. And the poet lists out the ways that the speaker loves her beloved. She is telling us all the ways and the reasons why she loves her beloved, that is her husband. As it is the theme also that she is finding reasons. She has so many reasons to love her husband. This is the importance of the title. Next, we'll go to the theme of the poem. The theme here is this, I should mention that this poem is also called as Sonnet 43. Okay. This poem, How Do I Love Thee, is also called as Sonnet 43. And this brings out the theme of love, devotion and relationships. So, what does this bring out? This brings out the theme of love, devotion and relationships. Relationship of husband and wife here, also with the society, how they are portrayed in the society. The speaker addresses her husband Robert Browning. So, whom is she addressing in this poem? In the whole poem, she is addressing her husband, that is Robert Browning. Robert Browning was also a writer. She tells her husband that she has many reasons to love him. So, usually what happens is we find few reasons to love our beloved one. But here she has so many reasons to love her husband. So, she is listing all those reasons where she loves her husband. This is the poem, How Do I Love Thee? As I told in the title that this comes in the first line, How Do I Love Thee? The title, the poem starts with the title lines itself, How Do I Love Thee? Now, you might be having a question, what is the meaning of thee? Is it an article the? No, this means you. Okay, she is asking, how do I love thee? How do I love you in the poem? Thee in the olden English means you. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. What is she doing? How do I love thee? How much do I love you? How should I love you? Let me count the ways. In which all ways I can love you. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. When feeling out of sight, for the ends of being an ideal grace. So, how much she wants to love? She wants to love to the depth, the deep, the soul can go. Not any person can reach. Soul can reach more depth than a person can reach. Correct? So, she is telling that she loves him to the depth the soul can reach and to the breadth the soul can have. We say or we believe that human body has the life, and if it dies, body does not have anything in it, correct? But the soul, it transfers to other bodies. So, there is no death to soul. Soul is immortal, correct? So, here breath of soul. So, there is no death at all to the soul. So, it will be breathing always, right? So, to the breath of soul and height my soul can reach. The soul can reach to the height until or beyond our view or vision, correct? So, till that she loves him. So, what is the lines here? I love thee to the depth and breadth and height of my soul can reach. When feeling out of sight, for the ends of being an ideal grace. So, where does the soul reach? Until it is out of sight. She is looking, means she tries to look at the height where her soul can reach, that is out of her sight. She cannot see, but still soul can reach that height. Okay. So, it is beyond our vision that the soul can reach the height. Okay. So, here she writes these lines. When feeling out of sight, when she is looking at the soul where it can reach, it reaches beyond her vision. Here in this line, for the ends of being ideal grace. So, for the ends of being an ideal grace means to the grace there can be an end. For being alive there can be an end. But there is no end to love her husband. So, her soul keeps on loving her husband for more time. Okay. So, here she mentions for the ends of being. Being means alive. And the ideal grace. Grace can be for some time, some years, correct? So, beyond that, the love will extend. The love for her husband will extend. To tell that, she has used these lines and these words in those lines. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. So she tells that she loves her for the level of every day's most quiet need. So what is a quiet need? We need to eat, we need to drink water, we need to breathe. Our heart has to pump the blood, it has to beat, correct? We need to sleep. All these are the quiet needs. We do it silently every day, we do it. Our heart beats and pumps blood every day on its own. Nobody commands it, or there is nothing that somebody orders, it has to come authenticatedly. Nothing happens like that, but it keeps on going, right? In that way, she loves him as if it is her breath, as if it is her heart working. So she does it as if it is every day's most quiet need that every human has to do. By sun and candlelight. So here she brings the imagery of sun and candlelight. Sun in the day and in the night it is candlelight. Okay. So she tries to bring the imagery that day and night, it can be at any light, she loves her husband. I love thee freely as men strive for right. So I love you to that level, to so freely that every man strive for right. Correct? Every man, they strive for right. They want some right. Correct? It starts from the right to live, right to freedom, right to speak. Correct? For every right we strive. What we strive in common, like that, it is very common for her to love her husband freely. I love thee purely as the turn from praise. So, how she loves? She loves purely. She's telling, I love thee, I love you purely as the turn from praise, because she has praisings for him. She praises him. She adores him because he is worth it. So, just imagine the person whom she loves, how good he might be, how trustworthy he might be. Correct? So, she is loving to the depth and to the height her soul can reach, and she loves him as every day's need. Okay, and also she loves him purely as they turn from praise, as they are from praise. She praises him. The love towards him is very pure. It is not for any one reason, or it is not for getting help from him, or it is not to only get the needs of the day. So it has come out of praise. So it is very pure. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood faith. So I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs. Old griefs means whatever problems, griefs she has, grievances had in her life. Okay, so with that passion, what happens usually if you have any grief or any worries, it continues, it won't stop, it will be running in our mind all the time, correct? So in the same way, she has the passion to love him. So it cannot be stopped, or whatever may be she working, it keeps on running in her mind that she will be loving her husband. She loves her husband. This thought continues to come. So she says, I love thee with a passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. So what does this word childhood's faith mean? What is this childhood faith? If a child is in the hand of his father or mother, and if the father or mother, if they throw him up also, the child smiles, because the child has the faith that definitely father or mother who has thrown him out will catch him when he comes down. Okay, this is called a childhood faith. Means when you are a child, you'll have great faith on people who has given you love. Okay, you expect that the same love will continue always in any situation. They'll be loving you, they'll care you, correct? So to mention that, she has used this childhood's faith. She loves him with her childhood's faith. So as a child, how she used to trust the people and have faith on them, in the same manner she has faith in her love and her husband. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. So what is this? I seem to lose with my lost saints. Lost saints means the people whom she had loved earlier. It can be sister, brother, friends, or anybody whom she loved in her lifetime, before she met her husband, before she started loving her husband. So she's telling about those people in these words, that is lost saints. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I have lost them. I miss them. So I don't want to miss you. I seem to lose you if I remember all those people. But I do not want to miss you. I do not want to lose you. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. How does she love? She loves with breath, means every breath she takes in and lives out. That loves him, that is her husband. So, in every smile, she loves him. In every tear, she loves him. That is of her life. So, for her, all life, whatever she has, smiles, whatever, how many breath she has taken, and whenever she has let down tears, in all these times, in all these moments, she loves her husband. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. So now she seeks the blessings of God, that if God choose, even after death, I'll be loving you, and that love will be better after death. When I'm alive, what I love, after death it will be more and more than that. So this is how she loves her husband, and we saw that she has made list of all the ways and reasons she loves her husband in the poem. So this is about the poem How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Now let us discuss question answers. Here are few questions which can be asked in your examination about the poem. First one, what is the theme of the sonnet 43? I told you this poem is also known as sonnet 43. Here it can be asked as How Do I Love Thee or sonnet 43. Remember, if it is as sonnet 43, it's the poem How Do I Love Thee. So the theme is love with a woman's perspective is the theme of this sonnet. So what is the theme? Love with a woman's perspective. So how woman loves her beloved. In that perspective, it is love as the theme of the poem. What is the speaker asking in this sonnet? What is she asking? The speaker is asking the reasons to love her husband. So she is asking which is the reason, how many reasons are there, and she is listing. She should not miss out any reason. So she is listing all those reasons, right? So it is the ways or reasons she can love is being asked by the speaker. In which era was this sonnet written? I told you in the beginning, this poem was written in the era when women were meant to do household works and not allowed to write. So this was written in 17th century. And how was the condition of women in the society at that time? At that time, women were meant to do only household works and they were not allowed to write. In that period, she started writing, and as a feminist, she has written this poem. By sun and by candle, what does this mean in the sonnet? We saw those lines there, correct? To say that her love is everlasting, the speaker has used the imagery of daylight and candlelight. So, until when sun is there, until when night also there is some light, maybe by candle or anything. So, until then she loves her husband. So, to tell that she has used the words sun and candle. Okay. Next, whom has the speaker called lost saints? Whom has she called lost saints? The speaker is referring to the close ones of her, maybe her family members. She has called them as the lost saints. Why are the words being and grace capitalized in the poem? They are capitalized. They are in the capital letters, grace and being. Why is it so? The capitalized words are associated with moral goodness and purity. So, she is stressing on the moral goodness and the purity. So, those two words are capitalized, okay, to show that they are or they represent moral goodness and purity. She has highlighted those words with capital letters. According to the last line of the sonnet, how long will her love endure? So, how long will it be? Will it be only till her death? No. The speaker's love will endure even after death. Only God has to allow. If God allows, she can love even after death. So, now who is the ultimate? God is the ultimate. So, she gives it to the hands of God that He should allow her to love even after death. But she is ready, always ready to love her husband even after death. Okay. These are few of the question and answers. What is the rhyme scheme of the sonnet 43? The rhyme scheme is ABBA, ABBA, CD, CD, CD. Okay. So, first 4 lines and second 4 lines are in the same rhyme scheme, and the last 6 lines are in the rhyme scheme. Okay. CD, CD, CD. This is the rhyme scheme of sonnet 43 or the poem How Do I Love Thee. What is the message by Elizabeth to her beloved? What message is she giving to her beloved? The message is that she loves him more than she used to. So, every day it is increasing. She is loving more than what she used to love yesterday. She is loving more than what she loved last year. She'll be loving more than when she is alive. After death also she keeps loving. It will be more than what she loved when she was alive. Okay. So, this is the message she gives to her beloved. Next, we'll see the conclusion. So, what is the conclusion of the poem? How it concludes? To conclude, the speaker states that her every breath, smile and tear is a reflection of her love for her husband. Yes, here her every breath, smile and tear is reflection of her love. So, in everything she has love for her husband. She tells her husband that if God will allow her, she will love him even more after she is gone. That is, after her death. She will continue loving even after her death, and that love will be more than what is she loving now. Okay. So, this is the conclusion of the poem. Today in this poem, we learnt the importance of the title, we learnt about the poet, and we learnt what is the theme of the poem. Then we discussed a line by line explanation, and we discussed some of the question answers also, and finally conclusion. Hope you have understood this poem very well and you will be able to answer the questions in your examination. Wishing you good luck. I bid you bye. See you. Bye bye and thank you.